Hey, I saw Moana too. Let's talk about it. Before we talk about it, I want to give my own brief thoughts on the first Moana. Moana is a pretty good-ass movie, in a lot of ways. While I think parts of the story are not the most well-paced, it definitely makes up for it with some very lovely animation that has a lot of attention to detail, very fun and enjoyable characters, and some amazing songs. I could honestly say more about this film, but everyone on the internet has given their own take, so yeah. All I can say is that Moana has definitely cemented itself as a modern classic that deserves all the praise and attention that it has gotten. And because of that, when they announced the sequel, I was extremely concerned. Not necessarily just because we're getting so many sequels, but it's simply just because of when it was announced and just knowing the entire production history of this film. Moana 2 was supposed to be a Disney Plus series, then they decided to repackage it into a movie, probably so it could be easy money, and yeah, a lot of red flags were raised. Another big factor to why I was worried was because parts of the animation were done in Vancouver. And if you do not know, animation studios in Vancouver generally do not have good work environments. Look at what happened to the production of Across the Spider-Verse and you'll know why. But yeah, I was just extremely concerned about it from day one. I even made a video about it, which I highly suggest to not watch it because it's not very good. But in short, yeah, after watching this movie, all of my fears and worries were confirmed. This film is extremely mid, and yes, it's a cinematic disappointment. I hesitate to say that it's a bad movie because there are a lot of aspects of this film that I actually think are good, but they're not enough to make this film as a whole a good movie. So, out of courtesy, I will discuss what I like first, and then what I didn't like. So let's talk about what I liked. First, the animation. The animation in this film is really good, in many ways. It's still very colorful. I love the designs of the characters. The new characters look pretty great. The environments are pretty cool to look at. As a whole, the film is visual eye candy, and I don't know, it looks pretty good. Nice, good Disney animation. However, as I said before, it's not perfect. There are probably some problems in the animation that I did not notice, but for the most part, it was pretty good. Next, there are the songs. Some of the songs were actually good in my opinion. I liked Beyond, which is basically Moana's I Want song, her singing about her struggles with keeping things in order. I thought it was pretty good. I like to call this the Adulting is Hard song. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny to call it that. It's a pretty good song. It's not as good as How Far I'll Go, but I appreciate it. Then there's the Villain song. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, the Villain song is also pretty nice. It's fun, it's catchy, it's pretty good. I don't know, I liked it. But I will definitely say these songs, as good as they are, aren't the most memorable, which I'll get into later. Speaking of the musical numbers, there is one scene in one of them where basically this old guy who's a farmer is on the boat, and he opens, he peeks up and he sees Moana and this person do some weird dance moves, and he's like, what the fuck? I laughed so hard at that scene. That scene genuinely put a smile on my face. That was funny. And as a whole, I think the concept of the movie is actually pretty cool. Moana needs to go on some big adventure, unite all the islands, and, bring an entire crew along. It sounds fun. Conceptually, this film is extremely great. It has all the materials to make a great sequel. So, what's the problem? The fucking execution. Here we go into what I think doesn't work about the movie. It's the execution. Because you can tell that this was supposed to be a series and not a movie, and that they just crammed all the episodes in as one. Because of that, the pacing of this film is not that good. There is not much time to actually properly flesh out any of these ideas, any of these characters, any of these environments. We do not have time to really take in what's actually happening, and as a result, the film feels extremely rushed, and because of how not well executed the characters are, I'm not invested in any of them. This film is not good from a writing perspective, and that's why this film simply just isn't very good. Also, there's so much I could go in depth on, but damn, the writing simply just is not good. And it really just felt like they bit off more than they could chew, because that's basically what happened. The first Moana, while there's not as much happening, everything is well fleshed out. The dynamics between Moana and Maui are pretty good. Tamatoa is amazing. The environments they're in are pretty nice. The story, while it has its problems, is very well fleshed out because they knew what they were doing. Moana 2 has a lot more shit happening, but because of how short everything is, nothing feels properly fleshed out, and the film feels extremely rushed. Which, I'm basically sounding like a broken record at this point, but that's basically what I think. But let's go on to the characters. Yeah, the characters are not the best. Moana herself is okay. She's pretty much how she was in the original, except she's a bit older, and now she wears a new outfit. I like her design. She's mostly just the same. She's just the daughter of the village chief, making sure everything goes right. She's an adventurer. She's mostly the same, and that's pretty much it. She's just okay. Maui himself, which, by the way, Maui is not in the movie as much as you may think. He's there, but yeah, he's mostly just the same as well. Maybe not as charming as he was in the first film, but that also could just be because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself isn't really the best guy around, so that could be a factor. And then there's the new characters, which are especially the problem. I don't know the names, and I honestly forgot them, but basically Moana has 3 additional crew members on her boat. There's this nerdy girl who likes to build things and destroy things. There's this guy who's basically like a fanfic writer. I'm not even kidding, they actually say fanfiction in this movie, and it's extremely cringe. If they said fanfiction like Inside Out 2, I'd be like, fuck yeah, but that's not the case. Yeah, this one was very... yeah, pretty forgettable. And then there's this farmer guy. He's basically the grumpy old man, and that's basically it. And then there's the villain, Matangi. She's not actually the villain. She's basically, like, trapped because plot, and I honestly forgot. I'm sorry, this film is extremely forgettable, and I've been forgetting about it for the past few days. I like her design, and I think her song is pretty good, but she's not a very well fleshed out character, and she's not very well written. And then there's Moana's younger sister. She has a younger sister, and yeah, I don't know. Their dynamic is cute, I guess, but again, I kind of wish they had more time to flesh things out. That's the biggest problem with this film. They do not give this film enough room to breathe, and as a result, the plot and the character dynamics do not feel fleshed out, and that's why the film particularly isn't very enjoyable. And then there's the songs. They are extremely forgettable. You can tell that Lin-Manuel Miranda was not involved, and as a result, yeah, most of them are not that memorable, and as I said before, even the best of songs aren't the most memorable. The only other song I can think of besides the 2 I mentioned is Can I Get It Chihu. Not because it's good, but it is actually actually bad. It's so bombastic and really tries hard to be good, but it doesn't understand what makes a song good. It's like Pressure from Encanto, but like not good. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. And honestly, in conclusion, I'm honestly tired. Moana 2 is extremely mid, despite everything it has, and I don't really know what else to say. I could go more in depth on why the plot doesn't work. I could go on a tirade on how Disney has lost its magic and only cares about money. I honestly could make an entire video essay on why this film doesn't work, but I don't think this film is worth dedicating this much time to. It's just a mid-movie that, by the time this video is out, I'm probably going to forget about. And that sucks. My recommendation is, don't go see it in theaters. Just don't. And if you really want to see a movie that's out in theaters right now, go watch Wicked instead. That film is amazing. The songs are great, the visuals are incredible, the characters are nice, it's very well written. It's a good movie all around. And yeah, honestly, I give Moana a 5 out of 10. I'm tired, I have a trip to go on tomorrow, I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, to the 5 people who watched the previous video and want to know what my friend thinks of the movie, oh, she thinks it sucks, thank you for asking. So basically, she's disappointed, and there was no point in this movie in existing. Good job, Disney, you're really such an incredible company. Goodbye, Radiator Springs. Also, she recently posted a video, which is basically this epic Overwatch 2 montage. Please go check it out. I have a link in the description below. She worked very hard on it, and I can say that it is a pretty good video.